Hi, this is The Animal Experience. My name is Coriel Kramer. I'm an animal communicator. I'm also a psychic medium and a healer. And the Animal Experience is basically just for the last 50 episodes. Today will be 51. I hope it's been bringing insights and wisdom from the animals that I've learned. I hope it has changed your thought process about how animals see things, from reincarnation and death to abuse, LOA, which is the law of attraction, to age, to healing, to care and euthanasia, and 40 plus other episodes that I've been doing. I am about to go into season 2. Today is officially this week is officially the anniversary of the Animal Experience. It is the first year that it's been involved. Hey, everyone. So it's been the first year that it's been created. And it's been pretty incredible. If I hadn't gone to Kansas City and not done an episode, this would have been episode 52. But I did. So next week is going to be episode 52. But this is the official week of season 1 of the Animal Experience. And I truly hope that it has brought joy and happiness, maybe little smiles, maybe some crying, because I know the first 20 so episodes I was crying almost every episode. So it's emotional. You get emotional when it comes to the animals and the stuff that they taught me. So I guess if you're going to get emotional about anything, get emotional about animals. So the Animal Experience is celebrating its 1 year today. And then what I'm going to be doing, and I'll announce this a little later on, is I'm going to be starting season 2. But I'm going to have a little bit of a lag time before I do. I need some time to just really hone the Animal Experience, make sure I'm doing it the right day and time, also make sure that I have the right lighting, the right programming. So, we're going to be taking a little time off for tweaking, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that later on. So, this is a pretty important episode. They are all important, but this is kind of like a health tip episode. This is flower essences. Flower essences are an incredible, powerful way for you to help your animals. So I suggest this to people who do rescues, if you do fosters, or if your own furkid is just having an issue and suffering from a habitual bad behavior. Flower essences might be able to help. They're all natural. They got nothing in them except water and a little preservative. But they do such incredible work. I got certified as a flower essence therapist when I lived in Europe. And I had an amazing time doing that. I went to the place, and I'll talk more about this, but I went to the place where the father of flower essences had his study and had his workplace, and the flower essences that he made are still being made today. So I've been working with them for a while, and I've been seeing them doing stuff and releasing unwanted behaviors, everything from, releasing past experiences from abuse, obsessive licking or self-biting, aggression, fear, trauma, pain, things like arthritis it can help with. It's just incredible. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. How do the flower essences work? How do they differ from healing aids like aromatherapy? Because a lot of people get those confused. And which ones are good to have? Okay, what's the most effective way to give them, to use them to best benefit your animal? All this is going to be talked about in this episode, so here we go. First off, let's start off the bat. What are flower essences? Real simple. Flower essences is basically flower water. It's people taking the flowers, okay, from plants and weeds and things like that there, and trees, and putting them in the sun in a bowl full of water. That's it. Now what happens is that the flowers then kind of act like almost solar panels. And when the sun hits the flowers, the vibration of that the essence of that flower gets put into the water. That's why it's important to use water and nothing else, because water is pure, and it's all about water plays a very important part, and I'll go more into that in a little bit. So they're basically flower water that's been infused with the essence of a certain flower or plant. Okay, then they put in a preservative. A preservative could be either glycerin or it could be alcohol. And alcohol is a tiny bit. Trust me, it's not going to get your animal drunk. Okay? So the process is basically simple. You take a glass bowl, you take clean water, as clean as you possibly can get, filtered or as pure as you could possibly get. The purer, the better. And you take flowers, and usually when you take the flowers from the plant, it's always good, because everything is about vibration, and I'll go more into this in a little bit too. It's important when you take the flowers to maybe just, I know it sounds woo-woo, and I know it sounds hippy-dippy, but it's a living being. And if you're pulling the plants or the flowers off that plant, you're invoking fear and pain, and that's what's going to go into the water. So it's good to say, can I take flowers from you? I'll only take a little bit, because you don't need a lot. It's a little dab will do you, and that's all you need. So is it okay if I, do that to you? Send it love and energy after you're done, taking the flowers? This is all the process. It's not hippy-dippy. It's about energy. Okay, people can talk to plants, and people play music for plants, and plants grow brighter and bigger. It's been scientifically proven. So flower essences are a safe, effective, natural way for you to help your animals. And the lovely thing about them, you can't get it wrong. What do I mean by that? You can't get it wrong. You can't overdose on flower essences. You can't get too happy on flower essences. There's no health issues with flower essences. It's just a real safe, effective, natural way of helping your animals. So, how do they work? Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Okay, so this is why it's important to watch the past episodes to see how important and how it plays a role. Animals are vibrational. We're vibrational. Flower essences is vibrational healing. Now, what does that mean? Flower essence, vibrational healing is kind of like when somebody plays like a singing bowl, or somebody plays like bells, and you feel really, really good. Sometimes when you're doing chanting work, or you hear somebody doing chanting work, and they're doing chanting for the different chakras to help align them. The voice, the sound, the music is all vibrational, because we are vibrational. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel better. So vibrational healing is basically taking something energetically that can help you change your vibration, aka also change your thinking, let go of your crap. You don't want to hang on to stuff anymore. Okay? This is vibrational. The vibrational thing that I'm trying to relay to you is like this. When you're feeling bad, you usually say, oh, I'm feeling down. When you're feeling great, you usually say things like, I'm feeling on top of the world. Because it's about up and down. It's about vibration. It's about movement. It's about, what do you feel? Do you feel down? Because the negative, unwanted behaviors are vibrating at a much lower level. Okay? You're jealous, you're sad, you're fearful. It's not a high feeling, happy vibration. It's a low feeling vibration. So the flower essences kind of act as a tuning fork. You take them in, the vibration, the essence of the flower starts raising up your vibrations, acting as a tuning fork, and that tuning fork vibrates at such a high level, it starts breaking away the unwanted behaviors, kind of like blocks, which is what they call them. They call them mental blocks. So the vibration from the flowers starts exploding and you start to feel better. You start to feel higher. You start to feel deeper. You start to feel more connected. You start to feel freer. And the flower essences are about basically, okay, raising up your vibration to your higher self so you can let go of your crap. Because when you're raised up and you're feeling good, you're so far away from all that other negative stuff. Hi, everyone. You're so far away from all that negative stuff. You don't want to feel bad. You want to feel good. So it retunes the body. It knocks out the negative behaviors, which are at a lower level, like I said. And once the animal stops the behavior, here's the beauty. Once the animal stops their behavior, 9 times out of 10, they're done with that essence. It's on maybe an as-needed basis. But once they step into who they're supposed to be, they don't need it anymore. They're not on it for years and years and years. You know, like puppy Prozac or something else like that. And again, I'm not knocking Prozac. I get it. Some animals need it. I get it, okay? But it also is a long time in coming. Meaning it takes a long time to work, to build up in the system. It takes a long time for them, when they're ready to get off of it, it takes a long time. You can't just take it off of them because they can have organ failure. So you have to like wean them off of it. It takes a lot. So it raises the vibration to match the flowers. But now here's the important thing. It only does it in the animals who are really ready to let go of their issues. This is called free will, people. Okay, I can send healing to an animal, but I always ask if they're ready to let go of their stuff. If I do flower essences with them, I always ask, are you ready to let go of your stuff? Because I can't do anything. I can, but it's going to be slow going. You want to feel better, you want to feel good, let's move it, let's do it, let's go, you know, then give me a yes and really mean it. So this is sometimes when it's important for maybe you to get an ACer or animal communicator involved, because they might need to find out exactly what's going on, what the issues really are. Because again, like I said in earlier episodes, animals just don't do things for shits and giggles. They always have a reason behind their behavior. Always. They don't just do it just because they feel like it. They're trying to alleviate. They're trying to make themselves feel better. They're trying to give you a message. So the difference, because I get a lot of people who confuse aromatherapy with flower essences. The difference between aromatherapy, okay, and the reason that it differs is because aromatherapy is oil. This is something you either put on the skin, okay, you put on their bed, you put on their collar, you put on their, on a body part or something. It's oil. They should not ingest it. Not always, I don't think, unless it's really made for that. Okay. And also aromatherapy. Now, this is my experience. I'm not knocking aromatherapy, and I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of people sending me messages. Okay. I'm saying this again. I'm not knocking aromatherapy. This has just been my experience from my clients who have told me their work with aromatherapy. Aromatherapy sometimes can be less effective on animals because, listen to what I'm saying, because they have a very sensitive sense of smell. Okay? And it can be less effective many times because it can be overwhelming to them. Okay? And then they're dealing with the fear, and they're dealing with the smell, or they're dealing with the anxiety, and they're dealing with the smell, and it can be just too overwhelming for them. So what I tell people is this: let's get rid of the behavior first, and then to take them maybe the rest of the way, maybe then you can use aromatherapy while they're nice and stable. Now, some animals react very well to it, but some, it's just not strong enough for some. I had 2 dogs I talked to last night, and his owner or his person, his foster mama or their foster mamas, were trying everything because there was one that was biting and there was one that's fearful. Okay? So what I told her, and I asked her, I said, what have you been using? And she said, well, I tried this collar. It's supposed to have aromatherapy on it and stuff like that there. It did nothing for them. They had it on for weeks, did nothing for them. They're just as scared. In fact, Mirabelle, the little dog I was talking to, one of the little dogs I was talking to, was even more scared. Now, she came out of a hoarding situation where she was in rooms with, a lot of other dogs, thrown meat to, inside the room and then left. Okay, so she had a horrific time. It's not strong enough. It's not doing the job. It's not doing the job. So that's a little example. Again, not knocking aromatherapy. I have oils all around my house, okay? But I also know, for me, I don't feel comfortable working with them and I don't put them on animals. But that's my thing. That's just me, okay? It's just me. All right, moving on. So, what things can flower essences heal? I've been working with these things for over 20 years, people. Okay, so I got a small list, but it can be a lot bigger. But here we go. These are some of the top ones. Dominance, aggression, arthritis, jealousy, biting, fear, panic, excessive licking, shock, possessiveness, overprotectiveness, and grief. This is just to name a few things. Okay? So here I'm going to give you 5 essences. Okay? Now, this is a flower essence right here. Okay? And basically, for those of you who don't know, sorry, my phone went off. What the heck? Sorry about that, guys. So, this is flower essence. Comes in a glass dropper, and they're drops, water. Okay, essentially flower water. You put the drops in the water. I'll explain that a little bit more, but that's what a flower essence is. So, I'm going to go into 5 of them. 5 ones that you should have on hand, especially if you do any kind of rescue, you do any kind of fostering. You should always have these on hand, all right? First one is cherry plum. Cherry plum is for kind of any obsessive behavior. Over licking, biting themselves, over grooming, to the pulling out feathers on birds, not dogs or cats, pulling out feathers, things like that there. Stuff where it feels like the animal just can't rest. They're constantly needing to soothe themselves. Another one is honeysuckle. This is honeysuckle, okay? It's honeysuckle. So honeysuckle is fantastic for letting go of past experiences. Now, let's say an animal got given over or given up, okay? Or given away, and they're not understanding why, and they keep going over why. Why did my person give me up? It's honeysuckle, okay? If they're dealing with past trauma, past drama, past abuse, and they don't seem to be able to step into their now experience, honeysuckle, okay? If they can't, if they seem like they're constantly trying to find their person, find their puppies, their kittens, their foals, whatever, honeysuckle. Okay, anytime past experience, and they can't let it go. A third one is mimulus. This is huge. This is a biggie. This is for known fears. So, fear of loud noises, fear of men, fear of women with hats, fear of men with hats, fear of loud noises, fear of firecrackers, fear of, cars, planes, buses, trains, I don't care, okay? It's a known fear. My animal is scared when this happens. Mimulus, okay? And I'll spell that because it's weird. M-I-M-U-L-U-S. M-I-M-U-L-U-S. Mimulus. Now, this is a big one for the rescues, and this is a really big one for the fosters as well. Sweet chestnut. Now, this one I don't give often because it's usually for the hard cases. This is usually for the animals that have been put through extreme emotional, physical, or mental distress. And they are just not able to let it go. So, abuse, severe abuse, seeing something that is horrific. And I'm not going to mention horrific things. We all can go to horrific things. We don't need help. So, seeing horrific things. Okay? This is really big with a lot of rescues. This is really big with a lot of fosters. Okay? The last one is vine. Dominance, aggression, one dog going after another dog, one cat going after all the other cats, things like that there. A dominance and aggression, okay? So dominance and aggression is vine, okay? And it is, this is vine, here, I'll show you vine. That's a viney, okay? And again, it's great. You just give the drops. I'll get more into that. But mimulus. So, Valerie, I just want to show this because this is important. But the rest of the comments and questions I'm going to take later. So Valerie says Lula does not like the sound of high heels, so I need to get the last one. Mimulus. You need to get mimulus. That's what she needs. So fear, specific fears. So awesome. Thank you for that. That's a perfect example. How do you give these things? Well, there's a few ways, all right? There's a few ways, but the most important thing about flower essences is, I tell people, because this is not really talked about a lot, and people just think, oh God, take that dropper, shove it in their mouths, and push the plunger down. Now, I know you mean well, okay? But you want to give, just like you want to take the flowers in a less stressful way to the plant, okay? You want to be able to give the essences in the least stressful way, okay? So putting it in their water, putting it in their wet food, not the dry food. It's not going to do any good. Wet food, wet food, wet food. Putting it on, on their treats. Like if you want to give it to a horse, then you just take it, get creative. Take an apple, put a hole in it, put the drops in, give them the apple slice. There you go. You got it. Okay? You want to get creative. One time, I tell people this a lot. When I first came back from the States, I did a session at a zoo, and there was a grizzly bear, not a little bear, big grizzly. So there was a grizzly bear that was having unwanted behaviors. It seemed very, down and very, lost. And so I did an animal communication session with him. And I found out that, okay, so how am I going to give, that he needs flower essences. Okay, how am I going to give flower essences to a bear? So I asked their trainer to get me some honey. Does he like honey? Yes, he loves honey. Okay, great. Got him some honey, big thing of honey. Okay, and we put the essences. I just put a boatload of essences in there. Again, you cannot overdose. Gave him the jar. He licked the honey, loved the honey, and he was feeling better. So you got to get creative sometimes. All right. Wet food. Again, wet food, not the ears. So treats for horses, dogs. You can put it on the dog biscuit, but again, because you're giving it to him right away. What happens with the dog food, the dry dog food, is it absorbs too much and it's scattered all over the place. You want focused healing. So that's why I say dog biscuits or in tuna water for the cats if they're not eating dry food, wet food. Put it in tuna water and give it to them that way. So water is the best way, again, as pure as possible. Here's the thing though, if you have a fountain, don't put it in the fountain because the fountain's got a filter and it's going to filter out the essence. What you want to do is you want to put it in a nice glass bowl, ceramic bowl. I don't like using metal bowl with flower essences because metal isn't natural. I like to stay as natural as I possibly can. Glass, ceramic, things like that there. Okay? Now, the dosage. The dosage is not about the amount of drops in a dropper. It is basically goes on how big your animal is. So for a cat, maybe 4 or 5 drops, but play with it. Again, play with it. You can't get it wrong. So maybe if they're not drinking the water, ooh, maybe taste that alcohol in there just a little bit. Okay, go down to 3 drops. Less is more. All right? So doing it that way, less is more. Their ears, I talk about this a lot. The ears have got on an animal, on the inside of the ear, you take some drops, you put it on your finger, okay? Rub it into the inside of their ear. The inside of the ear, not the outside, okay? That's got a lot of veins, and that's where a lot of capillaries are. It goes straight into the bloodstream, okay? Never, ever, 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 ever. I think that's enough. Put the glass dropper in the animal's mouth. Okay? They are not like us. They might not like it. You might put it down too deep. You might. Or they might react to the taste of it directly in their mouths. Again, you want to give it as less stressful as possible. So, and they can, the worst part is they might break down and bite down and break the glass. So you don't want to do that. As least stressful as possible. You can't give too much. Like I said, play with it. You can't get it wrong. That's the best thing about this thing. Results, the best thing about everything though is the results are anywhere between 24 to 48 hours to instantaneously. Okay? I've had animals who have been suffering from unwanted behaviors for years. And as soon as they touched their tongue to that water and they took that essence in, it started to change them. And the best thing is you're the one giving them the healing. So, you know, you feel good. You feel like you're helping them. It's really good. You know, it's a good thing to have. So the bottom line, here we go. So what have you got to lose? What the hell have you got to lose? You got really $15 to lose because that's how much a bottle of flower essences costs. I mean, you might go someplace and they might have it for a little bit more or whatever, but still it's a lot less than puppy Prozac. Okay, it's all natural. You can't get it wrong. It's safe. Okay? And the animals can't OD on it, and you can play with it. Don't get stressed. Oh, I gave him 5. He's not drinking the water. I can't give him anything. Go down to 2. It's better to give a little than nothing at all. Isn't it? So that's $15 a bottle. Plus, there's also places that, like FES Flowers is where I get mine from. And FES Flowers will customize up to 5 essences into 1 bottle. And that's the beautiful thing about these essences is you can combine them. If your animal is having dominance problems from the fact that he can't get over, the loss of his person to, he's fearful, give him all 3. You can't overdose on this. So combine them. It's not just 1 and done. Sometimes you need like 4 or 5 essences. So, hi everyone. Okay, so what else did I want to say? The beautiful thing about the essences, one of the things I think the beautiful thing is that these things are not meant forever. They're not meant to be on for the animal's entire life. They're meant to raise up their vibration, help them hear their higher self saying, psst, everything's okay, stream of well-being. And if you don't know what that is, go watch that episode. Stream of well-being, it's all good. Let's get to flowing. And then they're done. That's it. Don't have to be on it for years like some medications. That is a great deal. And the bottles last forever. I've had some of these bottles for 5 years, 6 years. They can't, as long as you don't keep them in the light or the sunlight, they keeps forever because they have the alcohol in them. They preserve the water. So, they're not meant to be forever. It doesn't damage the organs like some medications do, because some medications do damage the organs to help the animals. Now, yes, again, I say they have alcohol in them, but it's very, very little, so get over it. They're not going to get drunk, right? I haven't had, in all the time that I've done this, I haven't had one animal client tell me that they've had, or one person tell me their animal has had a bad reaction to the alcohol in there. Okay, there's less than there is in fruit juice. All right, so it's not a big deal. And isn't it better for them to have a life that's not tied to medications? That's just easy, that just allows them to just hear their higher selves, feel better, feel good, let go, let God, and just be in a matter of hopefully weeks as opposed to years. So I'm a big flower essence person. I love it. It's one of the things I go to a lot. That CBD oil, which I've also talked about, but flower essences are really a powerful way for your animals to have the life that they deserve. So, what I wanted to discuss right now is this. Until the end of this month, so until August, the end of August, I am having a sale of my 30-minute sessions. You want a session with me, your animal's having unwanted behaviors, you want to do a flower essence in combination with an animal communication, you got it. You want to do a psychic reading with me, you got it. It's 30 minutes for $50. That is a really good sale. It really is. The more you buy, the more you save. It's a savings of $75 when you just buy one. $75. Okay, that's nothing to sneeze at. So, if you want that, if you're interested in reading, if you're interested in a session, please go to my website, www.corielkramer.com. I do sessions with people all over the world. It doesn't matter where you are. I will always work out a special schedule for you if you are in a different total complete time zone or total complete continent. So that is what I wanted to say. Does anybody have any questions, any comments? Please feel free. And I will feel free to comment and question, and I will ask. I will answer. I will also ask a little bit. So Sherry says, I apologize if I didn't hear, but did you have recommendations to help with allergies? It depends on the allergy, and it depends on what's going on inside the animal's body. So, I mean, there's 38 flower essences, and this is just the Bach flowers, okay? I'm not telling you, go to FES Flowers, they got flowers from the desert, they got flowers from the Northeast, they got I mean, it's crazy. I like to keep to Bach flowers because it's 38 and I can wrap my head around that. So it depends on what's going on, Sherry. So if there's allergies, but it's due to toxins in the body, then you might want to get a combination of like scleranthus. I know, it sounds crazy. SCLENTH. Scleranthus. You can't miss it. Scleranthus. Okay. And crabapple. Crabapple is the cleanser for the liver. So that might help. It's also the flower essence to give, God forbid, and again, this is on the way to the vet. If your animal has eaten something toxic or poison, give them crabapple on the way, along with rescue remedy. Okay? It's going to help the poison hopefully leach out of their body. But that's on the way to the vet, not in lieu of the vet. Please. So, a great question. Thank you for answering. I hope that helped. If not, then I would probably say if that doesn't work or that doesn't feel right or there's no real results, then I would probably say we should get together and do a flower essence and animal communication, because I can go empathically in and find out really what's going on with the body. But for right now, try Scleranthus and try crabapple. Couldn't hurt. Okay, anyone else? Anyone else? I want to say, show this again because I think it's important. Valerie Weiss says, Lula does not like the sound of high heels, so I need to get Mimulus. She said the last one, but she means Mimulus. Mimulus is for specific fears. Fireworks, so 4th of July. Men, women, fear of men, fear of women, fear of dogs, fear of cats, fear of squirrels, fear of, whatever. Known fears. So, does anyone else have any questions? Okay. So, if I see any more questions, I will answer them at the end like I always do. I want to say thank you to everybody. This is the anniversary week of the animal experience. And even though we're at 52 weeks next week, it's because I had to skip one when I first started doing, when I was in Kansas City. So, but this is the anniversary. The animal experience is 1 year old. If you are enjoying it, if you are liking it, if you think it is helping, share the videos. Let people know. Let them know. Share the animals' experience. Share the animals' voices. And I want to thank everybody for giving me, the messages and the emails. I appreciate you, and I thank you for that. So, woohoo! 1 year for the animal experience. I can't believe it. But next week is episode 52. And here's the thing. I am more than likely going to take off a little bit of time, just like they do for the regular TV shows during the summertime. I'm going to need to take off a little bit of time, maybe about a month or so, in between this season and next season. It's not that I don't have a lot of subjects. I have a lot of subjects. I got subjects, I think, that are going probably into season 3. But I need to work out some specifics with the show, make sure that I have the right day and time, and also to work out some programming issues, some lighting issues, some things like that that I need a longer space of time in between. So I will absolutely be back for season 2. There's going to be a lot of amazing stuff. And next week, I think I'm going to do the episode on the voodoo that I do, which is how and what I do in my sessions and how I connect to animals, what to expect in a session, things like that there. I don't know. I'm still working it out. I think it's going to be interesting, but here we go. So somebody has a question. Mary has a question. So what can I do about my chewing bulldog? He eats everything. It might be that he's nervous. So, again, without doing a session, I'm spitballing here, okay? So, you can try the fact that he's doing obsessive behavior. So, you could try cherry plum, like I talked about in the beginning. That is for obsessive behavior. You can also try, it might be if he's nervous. And if he's chewing on everything, he probably doesn't know why. So I would get this, which is called, all right, this is called Aspen. Okay. Aspen is for unknown fears. I'm scared because I don't know. I'm just scared. I don't know why I'm scared. I'm just scared. I don't know. I'm scared. Period. as opposed to mimulus, which is for known fears. So you might want to try that. If not, then I would say probably getting a session for him with me or with somebody, other animal communicator, would be a great idea. So I would try aspen and cherry plum. I think that might work for him because it feels like, again, spitballing, it feels like he's chewing because he's just not sure about what to do. And he doesn't know what to do with himself, and he doesn't know how to handle himself, and he doesn't know how to handle life. So, okay, I hope that helped. And again, I want to thank everybody for sharing their time with me, their day with me. And as always, I am appreciating it. One more, and then we're done. My dog, Bigger, she's a rescue dog. She's allergic to heat. When it's too hot, she scratches and scratches. Red patches come up all over her body and around her mouth. Is there something I could give her? Changing it to natural food has helped. And yes, she is shy and a nervous girl. I would probably say aspen and maybe scoloranthus. Just like the allergies with Sherry, with Sherry's furkid, I would probably say give that a shot and see if that works. Again, aspen and cherry plum. Scoloranthus. Sorry. Cherry plum and scoloranthus. Sorry. The reason being scoloranthus is about the mental feeling balance mentally and physically in your mind, your body, and your spirit. That's what scoloranthus does. It balances the mind, the body, and the spirit. It's also a great one to give for arthritis. If there's stiffness, along with rock water, which is for flexibility, both mental and physical flexibility. So that is scoloranthus and rock water. So I hope that helped. Okay, so any other questions I will answer at the end. Again, everyone, thank you very much for joining me for the year anniversary week of the Animal Experience. I sincerely hope that you're enjoying it as much as I am. And I will talk to you next week. Until next week, I wish you and your animals a beautiful, wonderful, huge week of healing, amazing experiences with one another.